Hello everyone and welcome back to Two Grumpy Retro Gamers. This week we're heading back to the 64-bit wonderland with Nintendo's 64. With recent release of Micro Machines on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, we've seen that it skips the Nintendo Switch, which is Nintendo's latest console, but don't worry, we've got you covered and we're going to Micro Machines 64. Going back in time, we're playing this game, we've got our N64 set up, we've got both of us here, and I'm Miniature Funtime Force on.
Oh god, I didn't expect that. Can't think of mine now. Yeah, I'm Mike Lang, but let's just leave it at that.
Why not?
I do remember this game from when we was kids. It's this little social thing we went to, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, we used to just play with other people.
Not in that way.
No. It was a 4-player, I remember back then, even though you can have 8 people on this one.
You can, yes.
Yeah.
Sharing controllers.
That's right, yeah. The pad share thing that they did.
Yeah, which is quite clever actually. I mean,
Yeah.
it harks back to the 16-bit days when the original Micro Machines games were doing the rounds, and you had the 2 extra controller slots on the top of the cartridge, which J-Link, I think you used to call it.
Oh, right.
If I remember correctly. Yeah, write in if I'm wrong or not. Don't actually waste your time. So basically it harks back to those days. Codemasters very much being the forerunners of innovation during sort of the cartridge era, looking for different ways to get many people playing, much like Nintendo's ethos today. So your 4 controller slots, double that up, 8 people wanting to play Micro Machine 64. I can't think there's 8 people in the world that want to play it today, but barely even one of us. But
no, but it was a lot of fun back then.
it was.
It's very hard to control. It's very hard because of the camera angle. Obviously, you've seen it from a down view, and it changes constantly, so you're constantly changing your direction.
Pseudo-isometric, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite tough. Are you playing this, or
you're playing this?
I'm playing this, of course. You don't look stupid again, do you?
Well, not after some of the recent episodes. I mean, the Stuntman episode, though, I think I did pretty well on.
Yeah, definitely. You can have the Rumble Pack for these as well, which we haven't got at the moment.
Yeah. I think probably worth noting there as well is the fact that it doesn't have a save feature built into the cartridge, which is a little bit irritating, to be honest, and it cheaped out somewhat. So you need the controller pack if you do want to save on this game.
That's right, yeah. I mean, you get all different vehicles in this, cars, trucks. I think we're on the tank one at the moment, by the looks of it.
Okay.
Which would be interesting.
3-dimensional character models there. Reminds me very much of the old game Constructor.
Oh, right,
yeah.
So yeah, tanks. We don't have to shoot.
Oh. Right, so you get weapons in the game in varying degrees of usefulness. And as you can see, the power-ups scattered around the level itself. Yeah. Now, as Michael said there, it can be very difficult, especially if you're the first player, to work out where you're meant to be going.
Exactly, yeah.
It can get very, very confusing. Thankfully, it's aided by the Nintendo 64's analog stick, which makes the handling very precise. I can imagine if this was on the D-pad, you probably have all sorts of problems, really. Oh.
I just don't even know what I bumped into then.
Jar.
Oh.
Pencil.
Safe.
It's alright.
Yeah, because I remember this level with the pool table. You couldn't work, obviously you couldn't just dive into the pockets. But on some occasions you have to in order to get to the next table. Yeah. Which is really confusing, as you said. If you were the first person, you just wouldn't know, would you?
No, yeah.
You wouldn't know where to go.
Very, very difficult to work. I think it took you a couple of sort of playthroughs to acclimatise yourself as to where you were supposed to be going on. Yeah. But then that's a lot of the hidden depth and strategy behind Micro Machines. It looks very much like
a bit boring.
I'd expect you to do far worse than that, but you've done pretty well. It's very much looks like sort of your average kid game, but it's not. It's got so much more depth than that. Okay, you've got unlocked yourself a vehicle.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
you lose that when you turn it off.
Yeah, because we haven't got a controller pad inside, so that's been lost in time.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back to cars again.
Got ourselves some race cars now. It's good that it gives you a different vehicle in each of the levels just to keep things interesting. There's quite a few levels on this game. Did you say it was around about 40 courses or something?
43 is what I...
oh, that's fast.
Yeah, faster than I thought. 43 is what I read, but if it is or not, well, we done.
Of course, presumably a little toy car would blow up as soon as it hit the floor. Lithium battery.
Just slow down, really, shouldn't it?
Wow.
What I meant to got that cheese. Cool.
Yeah. As you can see now on the second course, it's led us into false sense of security that now we're making a big deal of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the cars are so ridiculously fast. The reaction times are not. You haven't got time to react and work out what you're meant to be doing. Now, a game that I can put that into perspective with is the original Grand Theft Auto games.
Oh yeah.
They're very difficult to work out where you're supposed to go, especially if you're going to keep a car intact as well.
Definitely.
Some missions I think on GTA 2 would require you to keep a car intact without blowing it up or damaging it or whatever, and that's very difficult. Oh dear. Fourth place.
Oh, cool.
It's better than fifth. So winner was Dwayne. Very cross-eyed. You know, obviously that helped aid him with one eye looking one way, you can see further down the track, and one eye behind him. And,
I mean, it's kind of clever, obviously. It's just getting the fact that if you had micro machines and you just go around the house with it, this is basically what it is. Obviously, you're playing this tiny car.
Yeah.
The house, the garden, well, actually, varying places around the house, isn't it? Obviously, you've got a pool table.
Yeah.
As I said, and that was the kitchen table, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breakfast table.
Breakfast table.
One would have to ask, with new technology and toys to life, what the way in would be having a Micro Machines game that has its own portal where you can scan your Micro Machine toy cars in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then
It's the same one again.
Yes, because you lost.
Oh, okay.
It's going to make you go through the pain of playing it again.
Well, a little bit more used to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
There was an exploding fork. They got recalled back in 1999. Yeah, graphically it's not that bad. You can definitely see a step up from the 16-bit generation as expected, and yeah, it's quite impressive. It'd be nice to have a reset button to allow you to reset the car manually
Instead of trying to get your way out of
make
it.
a painful attempt at it.
Yeah. What I really hate about certain games like this is when you bump into stuff, you just kind of bounce back.
Yes.
It's always been annoying.
Sort of Gran Turismo fever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fourth again. Seems Mike's peaked on, you know, his
Am I allowed
racing.
to be fourth? I've got to do this again?
I think you do. Cheesy jumps. Alright, we've actually got a life system as well, so
Right, okay.
you know we're you losing lives as
I have to do this again. I have to do it again. Okay, one more time. If not, you have to take over. See if you're any good at this.
I don't think I can play this.
No?
I don't think I'll give it an attempt, but I just don't think I can.
Slow and steady wins the race, that's what I'm guessing.
That's the tact you're not taking.
Yeah. It's always the toast.
Right, okay, so past the exploding fork this time at least.
Yeah.
There's power-ups that are scattered on the level itself, but curiously they're not on the track, so sometimes you have to take a route off the track to get the power-up that you want. Really, one would have to ask if that's not going to just cause the player behind you to just overtake you.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. If there's a prize for the amount of times you fall off the table, this man would definitely win it.
Yeah. Well, I'm currently last, so I don't think I'm going to win this one either. Am I?
No? That's a shame, because I was hoping I wouldn't have to play it, but alas.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright, well...
Well, you probably have to start all of this again now, if it's one for your lives.
Yeah, this is very true. I don't understand how
Game
Jethro is the ringleader of our lives. He's like, well, I'm taking that.
Yes.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Let's have a look.
Let's go back to the beginning again.
Okay, right, well... That's it? It was a tank, wasn't it, the first one?
No.
Oh.
I mean, did a little level before we started.
Oh. Right, yeah. A button is your acceleration button. Is your B button your brake?
Yeah, and reverse as well.
Okay.
And obviously, I don't know how you grip with that. Maybe trigger.
Yeah. So the trigger underneath
That
does...
pulls them back. Yeah.
Yeah, so as demonstrated there.
As you would if you actually had these toys.
Yeah, because they all do that. Okay, right. I can see what you mean about the handling is a little floaty, I would say, is what it is. Very floaty. This is a very simple, basic track, which really is just telling you what to do, how to play it. My car's obviously got some air suspension there. You can jump up. Right, okay. Level 2, hippie bus. Excellent. What was this?
This is the tank one, huh?
Oh, okay. Right, okay. It's kind of got an element of Blast Core to me as well. That old N64 game. I'd like to cover that at one point. Yeah. Right. Whoa, okay.
Trigger the shit.
Daddy got some turbo. Okay, right. Ooh.
Shoot.
So pretty much everybody had their wicked way with me then. Teaching you the product table as you're going past. I'm not hitting anything. What are these cheese balls that are coming out of here?
Got those cheese balls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be careful that blue one if you shoot too. Yeah.
Oh, he's aggressive, isn't he? He is aggressive. He's like your average Mondeo driver. Or a Vectra driver. They're aggressive as well. What the deuce?
So what you number one at the moment?
I am.
Right. So he's wanting to get that first place from you.
Yeah. He needs to back off.
So it's a little bit easier to control when the car's a bit slower, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel it ruins the game somewhat if it throws you in it too quickly with fast vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that the pacing of the game is quite a quick game by nature, but I feel that's actually to its detriment and lets it down a little bit. Okay, I've got an ice cream truck. It's probably quite difficult to see from the camera.
Can you choose these trucks?
Yeah, that's an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This is where I got to.
Oh
Let's see if Forbes can do it better than me.
Don't think so. I never liked Micro Machines when I was a kid. My friend Grant, he loves it.
Yeah.
Shout out there, Grant. Watch the episode.
Right, so he's steaming straight into it. Watch out for the toast. Nice. There's the recovery there. Are you using brake for this? Or?
No, I'm just laying off the accelerator.
Right, okay. I suppose that's what I should have done. Just put my foot down the way.
Wow. So all you've known, boy, innit? All your life. Putting your foot down. Hitting the red line. Fast love. George Michael. Oh!
Right.
For the love of George.
He's lost his place. Someone just beat that.
Someone just beat me.
It's going around.
I don't know quite what blew me up there.
The amount of bumps you done?
Yeah. Right, okay, well, I actually came off worse there. Started off alright. Some would. And then I bottled it.
Yeah, definitely.
On the last lap.
Right. So what do you reckon of that game? Let's do the review.
We're going to go straight to the review.
Straight to the review.
We're not going to talk a little bit more about it?
Well, tell me what you think of this game.
Alright, well, one thing I did notice when we started the cartridge up was it has multilingual versions. So the European version of the game is safe for German, French, Italian, it might be a Spanish option. So that's good. That's good that they've accommodated across the board there.
Yeah.
I kind of feel it's still a cheap tact from Codemasters. And being this game is published by Midway, just need to add that in there as well. That no save feature on the cartridge, multilingual. One has to ask, did they just chuck this out the door? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a March 1999 release, and Nintendo 64 wasn't doing big business by this point. Cartridges were notoriously expensive. This retailed in the USA for $50 when it was new.
Oh.
It's a lot. It is a lot. I mean, it's a good game for for the price that you're paying for it. There's a lot of content. There's a lot of levels.
Would you have paid for that back then?
No. But then we know I'm not a Micro Machines fan.
Mm.
If we got someone who loved Micro Machine game in here, and they were like, yes, definitely, when I was 12, knee-high to a grasshopper, then chances are they would say, yeah, I would have spent my lunch money on cartridge version Micro Machines.
That's expensive lunch.
Yeah, don't do that in today's world, because you can fall foul of malnutrition, alright? That's my advice to you today.
Who gives a kid 50 quid to go have some lunch?
Well, I was thinking more accumulation, £10 per week, 5
Right,
weeks.
I see, okay.
If you're lucky, within 5 weeks it might have dropped in price.
So the kid's not eating for like a month?
Over a month, 5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, a month and a little bit.
Starving himself at school, belly rumbling, no, we need that Micro Machine
No,
game.
absolutely not. I mean, they could have just gone in some maybe electronic music and stolen it, but could have got caught. Like the best of us do. Multiplayer mode, quick heats. As we touched on there, 8-player mode in the game as well, very impressive I think, and probably one of the very few Nintendo 64 games to add more than 4 players without requiring too much additional hardware.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I mean, obviously this game is definitely based for children.
Yes.
You've got the vibrant colours, it's very cartoony.
It's popping out at me. We're using an RF cable, so we're using the total original method of playing in Nintendo 64. We haven't gone for a composite lead, so, debatably, we're going for the worst picture. And it is kind of noticeable.
Well, we're trying to get that experience for when we was playing it. Really.
Trying to go with a 1-1 experience.
Yeah,
is what we're trying to do. We could have gone with emulation, done it in HD.
No,
that's not us.
No,
it's not us.
It's not the game.
It's not the game.
You might just get the remaster and then it'll be just a newer game. Yes,
you're going to have to step into the ring with the game. So, right. Let's do the review. Now, graphically, I'm going to put this on a 7. Because I think it's actually relatively decent and doesn't look terrible today.
No. There's something that came out in the 90s again. Yeah, I think I completely agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Also, they're using colours, cartoon, which is the cheaper way to go about graphics, really. But no, it works. It completely works for the game, I guess. So I'll go for a 7 as well.
Okay. Lovely. Right. Gameplay.
It's very hard to control.
Yes.
You have to dedicate yourself into playing this game constantly just so you can get used to it. Are you willing to do that? That is the question. So I'll probably take us down to a 6.
Okay. You give it a 6. I feel that it leads you into an unfair false sense of security. That the first couple of levels I was quite enjoying it, thinking I'm a hot shot at this, and then
you got to the 3rd level.
Yeah, and then
a bit too fast.
Realised I was a little bit rubbish at it, and especially with the lives depleting, meaning you have to come back and start again.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty repugnant. So I'm going to give that a 4.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Bit harsh today.
Well,
what do you reckon the controls on this?
Controls. The analog stick helps. Controls really nicely, doesn't it? Now I can understand if you had a tired example on Nintendo 64 where you're getting all that white gunk and stuff that's coming through on the stick, like they do, and it's got a little bit of wobble and travel. It would be a nightmare to play.
Yes, definitely.
But this one is a nice example. Very late Nintendo 64, hasn't been used that much. The stick is still in pristine condition, playing it exactly how it would when it left the factory. So on that basis, I'm gonna go for a 6.
Yeah, I'm saying controls really nice. Quite hard handle when it comes to fast cars. As you can see, the tank one, you did pretty well on that. Yeah. So a little bit when it's slow a little bit, you can really move it.
And it's more enjoyable.
Helps. Exactly.
More enjoyable when it's
too fast. It's way too fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, just go for 6.
Okay. Sound.
Sounds. Did you notice much about sounds?
No. No, it's very
few explosions, but it wasn't really.
No, it wasn't grabbing me.
No.
But I mean, I don't know whether the music might have detracted from concentrating on the level.
Well, the music is quite good at the beginning. It's kind of catchy. Can you remember it?
Yeah, I can remember a little bit of the tune.
I can't really remember much of it, so it's quite forgettable at the same time.
Okay.
So I could probably just give it a 6 just to be quite generous, I reckon.
I'm going to give it a 5 because I'm not generous.
Okay.
Keeping it real. Right. By my aggregate here, I'm going to be at a 6.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely a 6 on that one.
Okay, so 6 and a 6. Yeah, well, it's not the most impressive title we've covered on 2 Grumpy Retro Gamers so far. It's not quite up to the heady levels of a 10, which Rez got.
Yeah.
You can catch that episode.
Yeah, you can. Great episode.
Very good episode. In fact, probably one of the best ones we've done.
Yeah,
so
that game's just superb. As I said, it's a unique game.
Yeah.
Which is probably the best thing you can get in gaming when it's so unique like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But with racing game like this, there's others.
It's dime dozen. It's
Yeah.
been tried and tested. It's a formula that you're familiar with, and there are a few other isometric vehicle-based games on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I think Hot Wheels was one of my favourites.
Yeah, Hot Wheels on the 64,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. So that might be a more viable alternative. Certainly going to be a fairer game.
Yeah, V-Rally as well. That was on there.
Yeah, V-Rally.
Very good game.
Yeah, you even had sort of kart racing games. You had Mickey's Speedway USA, naturally Mario Kart, Diddy
Mario
Kong
Kart,
Racing.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a good few.
I think that's it. I mean, if you got all the games on the N64, if you've got Mario Kart, you're not really going to put this on, are you?
No.
Alright, lads, what should we play? Micro Machines? No, Mario Kart, come on.
Taking my beer, I'm out of here.
Yeah. So, yeah. Although we did give it quite a good score, quite generous score.
Yeah.
I feel a game like this can just be easily passed on and you can just pick up a decent one.
Yeah.
Sorry to say. For the prices as well, I don't think many people are going to go for it.
What sort of value have you got on it, Michael?
Well, you did the box ones, didn't you? So
Oh,
I did
yes.
just the cartridge by itself. That's probably how you would find it,
Which how
if
we got
anything. But you're looking at 12 to 15.
Still quite expensive, isn't
It's
it?
very expensive.
Very expensive.
For a game like this, and you can get better games for a cheaper price. I don't see many people rushing out the door right now.
Them silicon chips, obviously still rare today. Expensive, just like you were punished when the first time around you had an N64. Now, a box copy of this game, bear in mind that an unboxed copy is £12–15. A box copy, you're going to be looking at £25 to £30 for this, just to add a little bit of cardboard and some paper.
Yeah. If you're a collector, fair enough. If you're a Micro Machines fan, like Forbes said, then obviously you've already got it anyway.
Yeah. You've had enough time.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah.
1999, come on.
Yeah.
It's almost 20 years. But yeah, £12 to £15 for a cartridge, you can definitely find better for
Better games, yeah. There are
under a tenner.
There are better games
Way
out
under a
there.
tenner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see this really.
Yeah, one would shudder if you were paying £12 to £15 for Micro Machines and
Unless you've got them all and you're that bored, you think,
Yeah.
what should I get? Oh, Micro Machines, I haven't got that yet. You probably wouldn't.
yeah, and you know,
Circumstances.
when you've got games like F-Zero, which you can pick up an unboxed copy of that for £8, you
Yeah.
know, that it just makes more sense. Don't be silly. Alright, I know you've seen us play it and now you're influenced and you feel you're under the influence and you want to get it, don't even...
Probably pick up a Zelda game for what, £20 now, so you know.
He's got it on, he's knocked it on the head there, definitely.
That's just hours and hours of enjoyment.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Majora's Mask I still haven't completed.
Well, yeah, I don't think any of us have really, have we? Right, okay, so we're going to do some shout outs to people we like and respect.
Well, that's not going to take long, is it? Let's do that.
Okay, right, okay, so we've got a shout out to John Robson. I've missed you on a couple of episodes, really sorry about that, John. We're back on board with you now, mate, so we're going to...
That's why the first one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get 'em out of the way.
Making up for my past sins. We want to get you on a couple of the episodes. We keep saying it. We're going to do it. We are going to do it. RPGs on our field. We want you on board to play those while we just chat a load of rubbish about
Yeah,
them.
that's it. You could probably sit down here and play it.
Right, okay, we've got Simone J. Stogren following us on YouTube, commenting on our videos every now and again, the good ones, the bad ones, the ugly ones. We like the fact that there's no ugly ones or bad ones, but thanks for commenting on all the videos. So there's that. I want to do a special shout out to Matthew Holt, who got hold of us on our Facebook page, which is Not Being Funny Productions, talking about our Cannon Fodder episode. Now he actually worked on the game, back in the 90s and '94, and he actually divulged a cheat code on our Facebook page for the game, so you can't remember what it does.
I wonder who he is.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Frisky Bonobo's Playtime, who's just recently subscribed to us as well.
Yeah,
so thank you very much for that. You've got Vicky Mac as well. She's with us, so that's all good. And it's great to have you on board. You know, whether you like it or whether you don't, thanks for subscribing.
That's right. Obviously, we've got our professionals out there, so let's give a little shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Spike Studios, SPK, which is good that he's working with us.
Yes.
And
thanks, Spike.
We've got a lot of projects that we want to work with you on upcoming. So get in touch with us.
Remember, that's Spike Studios, Spike Projects. Type it in, search for it.
Yeah, SPK.
Of course, you've got Mikey Hay, always a good friend of ours.
Yeah, I love Mikey.
Yeah.
Every single time he's with us there. He is a great lad.
Yeah, definitely. And we got our usual shoutouts with Chrissy and Peace, James Chalmers. You alright there?
Yeah, just went down the wrong way. Okay. Oh dear. Tried my hard. Right, and obviously our usual stalwart of Bob Phillips.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we've got Bob on board. I don't think you stick with us for the whole episode, Bob, but
thanks, Bob.
You're there at least.
No, that's obviously clip on it. That's what counts.
All counts.
Yeah.
Okay. So where did we find this game today?
Where can you find this game? To be honest, I haven't really never actually looked for this game anywhere.
No, I must admit, I don't think many people would come into my place of work, once Gold Centre, and would ask for micro machines on the 64. I don't think it's ever happened.
But retro games. It's all the places that sell retro games. So it's divulge of that. Obviously, you said once, so we've got plenty of once going about. Was it 3 or 4 in?
3 in the town centre.
3 in the town centre, so it's pretty good. I can't think of the other ones.
You've got Tech Outlet.
Tech Outlet, I was about to say that. Yeah. I went past there the other day, loads of games in the window.
Yeah.
But I had to go to work. I was like, I've got to get a bus. Yeah, pretty much is.
Yeah.
There's so much. I just want to grab it all.
Same with Nerds as well.
Yeah.
That they've got a new unit which is on the outside of the Planning Market in Plymouth, and it is top notch.
Yes, just a few doors up from KFC, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a visual tour de force, and my eyes are just concentrating on so much that's going on in there. I love it.
Yes.
Love it. It is an old school retro video game shop, and it reminds me of my time working in Game Station. This indie with all this cool stuff. Love it.
We'll definitely have to take a trip out that way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So has he got the other stores as well? Has he got Nerds on the other side?
No, it's all consolidated into one now.
Bring it all into one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they've got the upstairs and downstairs, which is good.
There's an upstairs?
Yeah, upstairs is all for the card games and stuff like that. And then downstairs is the video games.
Yeah. See, the card game thing, people need to bring that back because obviously we lost Antics, didn't we?
No, Antics on Cornwall Street now. I mean, some would say we've lost it, but it's still there.
Games Workshop?
You can still find it. It's next to Games Workshop.
Next to it? Alright.
Yeah, on that same...
I don't go and tell much anymore. There's too many people. Way too many people.
It's only increasing as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, brilliant. So is there any other shouts we can do?
I think that's everybody on my side of things.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, yeah, seems... Yeah. Didn't work much. I'm sorry, if you ever see us laughing, I'll draw funny pictures and I'll show Forbes.
It's a challenge to see if I crack up or not. So keep a watch out on each episode.